Radio in motion program loading in 3, 2, 1. Program activated.
Attention everyone, the unpleasant noise you are about to hear coming from your radio is not a mistake.
Okay, first things first, what is your name?
This is Big Sonny playing the best of the 90s and beyond.
Are you ready for this?
Yeah. Radio in motion.
Please do not turn off your radio, but turn up the volume on your receiver as high as it can go.
All right, here we go.
Radio in motion.
All right, welcome back to the show. You're listening to Radio Motion, tonight's Unplug and Unwind. But right now we're going to have another installment of The Ugly Truth. And the truth is, the private space race is definitely on. And that would be between Elon Musk's SpaceX and Jeff Bezos of Amazon's Blue Origin. And I'm not sure if Jeff has taken a giant leap forward like he has. Check out this story yourself. But so Katy Perry, Gayle King, Lauren Sanchez. Lauren Sanchez, by the way, if anyone is keeping score, is Jeff Bezos' girlfriend, soon-to-be wife, fiance, I believe. So they just came back from space. What did they do? Did they go up and work on the International Space Station? Did they repair something? Maybe they did a concert? No, they just went up on like a 10-minute flight. I'm not knocking that part. What I am knocking is this story in general sort of gives me the ick. Women can say that. Well, guys can get the ick too. And this is just cringy, this story. So they've come back from space, Katy Perry, Lauren Sanchez, Gayle King, and nothing says empowerment like going to space and focusing on what your boobs look like. And I'm being honest. 100% this is what it is. And this is nothing about men or women in space. This is what I'm going to get into. This actually, I think, belittles the hard-working female astronauts there are many of those, trust me, who have earned their spot based on merit and skill and experience, just like any male astronaut. As I say, I don't believe in this whole focus on ideology, on gender and skin color, on anything to tick a box to say, yes, this person is in, not based on your skill, your intelligence, your merit, your suitability for the role. That includes any role, and especially something as serious as being an astronaut going into space where other people are counting on you. So that being said, no, I don't think this was a giant leap forward for feminism, sending these into space. And the point is, again, I'm not going to show the video, but definitely check it out. I think it sends the wrong message. It's focusing on the wrong things. So first of all, it's saying like, this is Katy Perry, again, a woman who is extremely talented and smart and has worked hard. Nothing about that, nothing about Katy Perry, but it's how they're spinning this to say that Katy Perry going into space is empowerment for her. Not to be mean, she's like got $1 billion. She's done well. I'm not sure how much more empowerment she needs. To be honest, if Katy Perry, who is at the top of the rung, call her maybe, Taylor Swift adjacent, maybe she's in second place, but still, everyone knows she is worldwide, a name brand. If she needs further empowerment, then I'm tired for myself. I don't know what more, I'm saying, for someone who's at the top of the ladder, if they need more empowerment. But the thing is the cringiness of this is how they've gone about it. They focused so much when you look at the video and the photos about how they looked, not about, again, I think it's better why don't we have more stories about astronauts in general? And if you want to talk about a certain gender or race, that's fine. Then do that. Give me that story of the actual astronaut, an actual female astronaut who's in space. And maybe it's an expose where she has her family. And you know what? Because God forbid, women are attracted to men and men are attracted to women. God forbid that, we attach that to it, who's someone who is capable, and maybe they also are good looking. Sorry, I said it because it seems to work with men all the time. If a man is successful and intelligent and interesting and powerful and ticks all the boxes and he's good looking, well, the women will swoon. Same with men. If you're looking at astronauts and the woman happens to also be appealing in looks, fine, run with that too. The good-looking female astronaut. But don't just say, send them up and have these women saying it's about empowerment for astronauts and women in space when all they did was go up for 10 minutes and take a bunch of selfies. And again, the videos are very much focused on like their outfits. And yes, I'm going to be honest, the outfits were designed to accentuate their curves, okay? It wasn't a legit normal astronaut outfit. They were designed for them to accentuate their curves, and this is true. So they were designed by Oscar de la Renta, okay? So these are fancy, $1 million spacesuits, and I don't think that is how you say empowerment. I don't think that's a giant leap forward for feminism. Lauren Sanchez, that's Jeff Bezos' girlfriend. So her first thing coming back, they do an interview. First of all, they all kiss the ground, which is hilarious. Like they were up there for, like the actual astronauts that Elon Musk rescued recently with SpaceX, who were up there for months. They kissed the ground like, oh my God, I'm back. And so they asked, what was Earth like? What was the experience like? Again, I'm just being honest. If you're going to send someone who has the skill and understanding, or at least a way to articulate something as beautiful that all of us regular humans who are bound by gravity would like to know. What does it look like? And she goes, it was quiet. It was quiet. Okay, I don't doubt that. Probably because you're in the vacuum of space, but that's all right. You're in a sealed capsule, probably a bit quiet. She was saying just can't be described. It was quiet, but also really alive. Okay, that's fine. Sometimes it's hard to come up with something off the cuff on the spot, but that was terrible. That was so non-inspiring. Seriously, send a writer or poet. Bring back, literally send a poet and have him or her come back and describe what our beautiful planet hanging in the void of the universe looks like for someone who wants to get back to the bosom of our amazing, beautiful planet that gives us life. Anybody would be better than, it was quiet. It was like so quiet and like alive. Wow. Thank you. That was ridiculous. Again, I'll get into the whole red carpet treatment of this in a minute. I'm thinking back to an actual inspirational story, which I often think about when I see anytime there's a new craft or space flight. And for me growing up, that was the space shuttle. The space shuttle was a huge thing. It had its ups and downs, but it was trying to push the technology a little bit further than what was possible. Again, the idea of a rocket is one thing, but the idea of a spacecraft, and I will get a little bit nerdy here. The space shuttle was meant trying to get an easier way, which Elon Musk is touching on a bit better, rather than so much wastage and the rockets having so many. When the rockets go up and they have to jettison parts of it, and it's a lot of wastage. It's falling in the ocean. Some of it can't be reused. Each new rocket is a new iteration and billions of dollars. The space shuttle was the one craft that they could send off into space, and it would come back. And obviously, it was shaped like a plane because it needed the aerodynamics because it was going to glide back into the Earth's atmosphere like an airplane. And of course, many times. Give credit to the space shuttle. It helped build, that's a fact. It did the hard lifting for the current International Space Station. There would be no International Space Station if it weren't for the space shuttle. So again, I'm saying kudos to the space shuttle program. I loved watching that as a kid, and I have seen the space shuttle live from Florida taking off. It was Discovery. And yes, it was an awesome sight. But the mechanics of a craft having wings and angles and things that don't quite mesh when you're talking about the extreme heat and forces when you're coming back to the atmosphere. So simply put, the design of an airplane to fly in our atmosphere is different from trying to throw that into the Earth's atmosphere, coming back down and burning through the unbelievably extreme heat that is going to enter all those little crevices. So simply put, the space shuttle, amazing craft, but some flawed design. And so what am I alluding to? I'm talking about Challenger Space Shuttle, 1986. This was huge. And this was an inspiring story. Unfortunately, nowadays it's a tragic story, but it's still inspiring. So this was the first time they were going to ever send up a civilian. And that was Christa McAliffe. And she was a teacher. And simply put, that was an inspiring story. And you know what? She was also a beautiful woman, a wife, a mother, and a teacher, and someone in the community. And again, I'm not downplaying that Katy Perry and these women have their own successes, but back then, Christa McAuliffe wasn't out there. It wasn't about, look at my designer suit and my figure, and does it fit? Does it show off my curves? She was going up as a civilian, but I think to represent an amazing thing, which is teachers and someone in the community who gives back. And it was 1986. Maybe it was just a different time, but that one resonated. I think that's a better way if you want to inspire young girls. I just think that was a better way to do it, to bring up someone like that, a teacher who has a class of children who look up to her, and they were going to see her on the space shuttle for the first time. A civilian, a non-professional astronaut, was going to go into space. And look, if you don't know by now, I can't help you. You need to be better with your history. But obviously, the Challenger exploded on re-entry, and that was huge. I remember they wheeled in the video monitor, and I don't know if you know, but back in the late '80s, early '90s, if they wheeled in the big giant TV on the little cart with the VCR underneath, usually something great was happening. Either the teacher was in a lazy mood and we were going to watch a video or a movie. Anyway, look, we thought it was something, this is cool. It wasn't. They turned on the live television, which they had never done. They had never done that. Turned on live TV, and it was reporting about the Challenger. And then it had that, it was just out of nowhere. It was fine. And then puff of smoke, the two rockets going out. Sorry. I'm terrible. It wasn't on reentry. It was on takeoff, which is even worse. So yeah, I think that is a better inspiring story. And yes, and it did involve a woman who happened to be successful and intelligent, had a family, and also nothing wrong with being feminine, just like there's nothing wrong with being masculine or handsome, and that's part of your full persona. I'm just saying nothing wrong with that, but I'm saying this particular, the Jeff Bezos one, just has ick all over it. And a side note, I was looking that up. So Christa McAuliffe, her husband Stephen, she had two children, Scott and Caroline. They're both teachers now, and again, I think that's a beautiful continuation of an inspiring story, obviously a tragic one. But yeah, this one with Katy Perry, it had a red carpet. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, they're doing the selfies. Again, there are already astronauts who are women who are working hard right now, doing the job of being an astronaut, and that is inspiring. I don't understand why this is inspiring with their Oscar de la Renta designed suits, focusing on just the spectacle of it all and the pop culture, look at me of it all. And yeah, it is kind of funny, okay? It is, he did send up his girlfriend and her Hollywood elite friends. And, she comes down all kissy and lovey. I'm just saying. And look, I'm going to be honest. You can look this up. I'm not making this up. Allegedly, and not so much allegedly, a lot of this is confirmed. She actually left her husband for Jeff Bezos. Apparently, not only that, but she repeatedly reportedly cheated on her husband with Jeff Bezos. So I'm just saying that's where Lauren Sanchez started off. And before she was a news anchor, 10 years ago. And again, I'm not downplaying that, but I'm just saying it's interesting how this is the kind of person that you say we want to look up. And yes, what if you reverse the roles? Yes, if I reverse the roles, it's the same thing. If it was some hot Hollywood hunk guy who kept marrying up the ladder, yeah, I'd be a bit sus about that. Sorry, we all are. Get over yourself, okay? I'm just saying. These are her great achievements, dropping her husband for the billionaire. Okay, so again, I just don't think these are inspiring stories. I don't think this is a giant leap forward for feminism. She comes down and kisses her billionaire boyfriend and said, thanks for the gift. What is it? Is this going to space? Is it a birthday gift? So yeah, I think that's weird. And also, again, just not enough insight. If you're going to send someone who's going to come back with an interesting story and description. I'm sure, though, having said that, Katy Perry, I'm sure a song will be coming out at some point. Space Girl, I'm sure. Space Dream, something. I'm sure it'll come out. That's fine. But yeah, the whole red carpet part, and I don't understand these days as well when there seems to be. I think there was this demonstration recently in Paris. Sort of, there's always activists. And the women were topless, so it was like a topless demonstration. Now, again, there's a core primitive primal lizard brain that we all have, our most basic instincts, men and women attracted to each other, and they couple and they make children. What can I say? It's a natural biological thing. And part of that is the masculine form and the feminine form attract each other. But now, the topless activists, they're showing their breasts. I don't know what I'm supposed to do because they say it's about empowerment. So empowerment is I should look and go, hey, nice ones. Nope, I'm a chauvinistic pig. Oh my God, bury me underground. So what am I supposed to do? Look away? I look away. No, I don't want to look. It's hideous. Oh, so you don't like the female form? You don't like the female form? You look away? I don't know what to do. I'm confused. You've taken my natural instincts and you've confused me. It used to be if a woman flashed you, you'd go, hey-oh, thumbs up, some yelling. Everyone moves on. Now it's like, I don't know, look away, give you money. Oh, no, that would be terrible. Oh, but wait, but if I give you money, maybe that is empowering because maybe you're a sex worker and that's empowering. Oh, it's not? I don't know. I'm confused. You're killing me. I don't know to look at them or look away. Is it like the sun? Again, it's the Seinfeld story, that's true, especially with cleavage. It's like the sun. You can't stare at it too long. It'll burn in your eyes, okay? The sun, it's dangerous, full stop. So you look away, a quick one and look away. So again, I don't know what empowerment means these days. I don't know what it means to be a woman who says that, Katy Perry and her pals focusing on just their looks going into space and saying that is a leap forward for women in the workforce. So yeah, that part I just don't get. So anyway, I just wanted to point that out. Definitely look up that story. I think it's hilarious, and it certainly just gives me the ick a bit. And yes, like I said, if you turn the tables, and it were a billionaire rich woman, and it was a bunch of sort of hunky Hollywood men, and they were just going up there taking selfies, and they came back and say this is empowerment for men, and I would call BS on that and say it's ridiculous. Okay, it's the same thing. So yeah, having the red carpet for the astronauts is weird. And again, Elon Musk, as far as sort of street cred. Look, I mean, he has his spectacle too. I'm sure, he would probably, if he could, do something similar. But at current, I have to give him props that he sent up, SpaceX ship and rescued and actually helped NASA out of a jam and rescued astronauts and brought them back home. So that's a pretty cool leap forward in his space race. Also, I do have to point this out. I don't know if you've ever seen, again, this is just design. It's just purely rocket design. Okay, everything is about, making sure it's about, wind and draft and making sure for re-entry and heat. I get it. Having said that, the Jeff Bezos rockets, there's no other way to say it. They look like a giant penis, and I think he's working stuff out. I think he might have some issues because it just is. And even the capsule, I think, so the capsule itself, and I'm not the first to say this, the capsule that they get in, you could say igloo, but I think it looks like a breast. Hey, maybe I'm working stuff out. Maybe that's what I see. But I'm sorry, if you look at the Jeff Bezos rockets, the Blue Origin rockets, yeah, the rocket looks like a giant penis, and the capsule looks like a boob. So I think he's working some stuff out, and it's coming out in his designs. But anyway, it could just be me. So tell me what you think. What do you think? Was it a leap forward for women and empowerment, or was it just a cheap, cringy gag, sending up, I suppose, this type of Hollywood music scene, pop culture, not really even understanding the weight and heaviness of what it means to do that, rather than just taking a ride. Like I say, they didn't go up there and work. They didn't go up there and fix something. They just took a ride. They took a ride on the big space bus. Okay. If you had enough money, you could take a ride on the big space bus. I don't think you deserve a giant story about it, about empowerment. Sorry. I don't. If your boyfriend, runs the rocket company and he gives you a space flight as a gift, I also think you did not make a giant leap forward in empowerment. Sorry. So yeah, that's the ugly truth there, and that's my take on it. All right, I hope you enjoyed that, and like I say, look up that story. It's hilarious in their fancy spacesuits, taking all their selfies. All right, more great music tonight on Radio Motion's Unplug and Unwind after a word from our awesome sponsors.